So when Eugene asked me to read this poem, I'm Rooted, I liked it so much because it spoke to this idea about belonging. And that's a feeling that's eluded me most of my life, growing up as the suburban American daughter of Haitian parents. And so I'm always really interested in this pull that we feel to find a place to belong. In 2011, I started writing a narrative blog about my own search for belonging, I guess, called Caramels on Maple Street. The caramels being my 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl, who are biracial. And Maple Street being the street where we all lived for 10 years. In a really tiny New England town that has 1 traffic light and no ATM machines and about 4,000 people, and where my children's father has very deep Irish roots. So I thought I would read some excerpts from that blog tonight. So this is Black Kanga. Oh boy. People sometimes ask us if we live on a farm. We don't. But we do have some of the things people on farms have. We have chickens and guinea hens and a shed where the chickens and guinea hens live. We almost always have fresh eggs whose yolks aren't so much yellow as they are blood orange. They're spectacular. The chickens were my kid's father's idea. He brought them home one night in the dead of winter in a shoebox as little chicks. I was deeply skeptical about this back to the land plan. My Haitian mother brought me up believing that animals are often associated with disease. As soon as I heard the word chickens, the first thought that popped into my head was chicken. But he was right. On a regular basis, I get to watch 3 exuberant little bodies hunting around for eggs in our yard, and now I associate that blood orange with pure joy. For a while, we had a rooster, a birthday present from a friend to my son Owen on his 5th birthday. If you care at all about sleeping past 4:45 a.m., roosters are not for you. After a lot of thought, Owen named the rooster Bing Bing Silly. We're not sure what happened, but one morning after the yard stayed silent past dawn, we realized Bing Bing Silly was gone. We suspect he got taken out by a coyote, but we tell Owen that Bing Bing Silly went exploring and will be back someday. And then there are the goats. We have 2 of them, which we inherited from the kid's great uncle in the next town over after he passed away. Somewhat appropriately and strangely for us here on Maple Street, one goat is jet black and the other is snowy white, Kanga and Charlotte. We learned a few things about these goats soon after they arrived. Charlotte is the friendly goat that kids are encouraged to pet and play with when they come over. Kanga, it turns out, is the hostile goat that children and adults are warned not to get too close to. Owen knows that the way to deal with Kanga is with a loud voice and a large stick, letting him know at all times who's boss. Ever since Kanga tried to escape through the backfield a couple years ago, he has exercised that show of force with more gusto. I realize it is 2011. I realize that we have a Black president, and in Massachusetts, a black governor. But there is something strange about telling people who come over for the first time to stay away from the black goat because he's dangerous. And there's something even stranger about watching your biracial son treat a white goat like a fluffy farm animal and then turn into a pint-sized plantation overseer with a tragic black kanga. Even stranger still, to be a sensible, well-adjusted mother and begin to identify with a goat trying to scale the fences, to dream of my own escape from the beautiful farm on Maple Street, where the maple trees have come to seem like metal bars. Sometimes I watch Kanga and Charlotte go about their business, eating grass, locking horns, crossing the stream that runs through our fields. And I feel a deep sense of envy. If people were goats, we would know what it feels like to be black and aggressive, or white and meek, and have those things be completely emptied of meaning. But people are more complicated. I rarely use the words black or white to refer to people in front of our children. In our house, those words get spelled out a lot. It's a trick we won't be able to get away with for much longer, but I find myself clinging to it almost desperately. I want to keep them in a world where skin color is as unburdened as goat hair. I want to keep them there for as long as possible. And at the same time, I want to be the one to walk them out into a complicated and unjust reality. I want to be there holding their hand when they become aware for the first time that their skin color has a charge and a painful history, so that when they meet it, they can stand their ground and not feel any need to run.